Hello there, welcome to another video from 24/7 Board Sports. Today we're just going to briefly go through the V2 sector from Airush from 2011 into 2012. Started riding these middle part of the year. We kind of switched on to a little bit late. Was a light wind opportunities to get out and increase your summer fun. Started off from the V1, which was 8 centimetres narrower in the tail than V2. They beefed it up across the tail with the back foot strap is just through here. These things are fantastic. We've been out on 12-metre kites in about 7 or 8 knots and charging up wind when other guys are just getting the kites out of the car and they just think they're going to get going. They just can't touch you at all. They just don't get anywhere at all. They just drift downwind and away you go. So yeah, you're out there having fun in such light winds. This thing will overtake you buying another kite in your quiver. So if you've got a 12 and an 8 in your quiver, buy one of these. It's 750 quid. To be honest, it's 750 quid cheaper than your 16-metre light wind machine. Loads of fun. They are a directional board, so there are some different skills, techniques you need to learn. Tacking for one is a real key one, obviously jibing, but if you can jibe a directional surfboard, you should be fine on this. It's a little bit trickier because obviously you've got some large fins, which don't make it quite as turny, but the benefit of the sector is over some of the other course boards out there, these will carve where they won't. They're just too directional and too straight in the fins and also in the rails of the board as well. The best thing about this is it's just effortless, fun, free riding with your mates. So if you've got 2 or 3 of these on the beach, you can truck upwind, you can go 4, 5, 6 miles upwind, no problem at all. Get around a mark and just flap back downwind. On a broad reach, these are pretty quick things, so they can catch you out initially, but you just sort of dial into it, learn how to ride it, trust the board to plough over the back and stuff. It doesn't tend to go through it, it just rides over the top because of its width, so it's 60 wide. They're just super easy fun. Some of the other boards out there, you can struggle just to get them going in a straight line. Yeah, it does come down to rider ability. I've been riding for 11, 12 years, so I'm pretty much ride driftwood and get back to the beach. Some of the boards are just trickier, and it depends how much time you want to invest into actually learning how to use those sort of boards. So if you want plug and play, functionality, out the car, on the water, smile on your face before you go back home to the missus and kids, this is it. This is your light wind fun right here. What I'm doing, I'm just going to move the camera around so I can just talk you through the fin setup, because it's a little bit different from the V1. The V1 fins are angled right the way over, the V2's are not quite as angled. This just means that you're going to sail the board slightly flatter. But let's set up the camera and have a look at the fin setup. Right, here we are at the business end of the Sector V2 from Airush. As I was saying about the fins, the angle of rake, on the V1 the angle of rake was a lot more pronounced, which just ultimately meant you could get on it and ride it like your twin tip, in terms of how much you'd actually edge the board and get going, and then you just allow the board to just shoot upwind and off you go. And what they've done is, obviously Airush do the V2, they also do the Monaro above this, but being their free ride, fun board, they want to make it a little bit more performancey, a little bit quicker, and make it, you know, sort of point a little bit higher as well. So they actually just towed these fins in just a little bit more. I think I read some of their about 5-degree angle of rake on these fins, which is still nice and comfortable. You are riding it a little bit flatter, but they've just struck a good compromise between upwind ability but ease of use still, which is great. So yeah, generally large fins at the front, small fins at the back. You probably could get some other fins and play around with it, make the board a little bit more twisty, turny and so on. But a chap who's responsible for these boards in the UK has done something on Vimeo, I think it was. We was using the V2 60 in little waves. So even with the standard setup, you can still play around and ride a little wave here and there, but obviously its forte is super light wind sailing and upwind blasting. That's what it's good for. So that's going to conclude our little video. This is actually our demo board, so if anybody fancies giving us a shout on 02380 894 000 and arranging a demo, that's absolutely fine. Myself and another guy in the shop down, we've also got a couple of those boards on the water, so if you fancy a little bit of fun, a bit of a sort of a who's quicker than who up and down wind, we're always jumping at the bit to get out and race about with other people as well. So if you do fancy that, let us know. We'll try and arrange to get one of us out in the water as well. Failing that, if you just want to get your head around it and yeah, and see how good these things are, give us a call and we'll hook you up with a demo. Alright guys, all the best, I'll see you soon. Take it easy.